Hey girl, welcome to On My Mark, your weekly transformational podcast designed to motivate, empower, and inspire to aspire. Yes, in that order. I am your host, Remember C, and I'm a speaker by passion, philanthropist by purpose, and a Zimbabwean by tradition. I want to let you in on a little secret. This isn't your typical motivational podcast. This right here is transformational. So join me every Tuesday for your weekly dosage of inspiration. Hey girl, hey guys, hey, welcome to episode number 4 of On My Mark. This is our weekly dosage of inspiration. I've been looking forward to this episode because it's one of my favorites. I say this all the time, but no, genuinely, this is one of my favorite topics that we're going to discuss today. But before we get into it, I just want to say thank you to every single person who sends messages on our email, on my social media platform, Mr. Remember C, on Facebook, On My Mark podcast. Thank you for all just being involved and for all the encouraging and some of the testimonials that people have been sharing as well. That's beautiful to hear. So if you want to share a testimonial of how On My Mark is helping you through your daily lives and through things that you're trying to accomplish and pursue, please do share that with us. So, guys, yesterday was my mom's birthday. Hey, happy birthday to... Do you know what we should have done? We should have sang a birthday song for her and then played it today. Like, we really should have done that. But anyways, happy birthday to my beautiful mother. She's amazing. Like, seriously, if you think my energy is just good vibes, no, you need to meet her. So, Mom, I love you and appreciate you. And once again, happy birthday. So, as we proceed to today's episode titled, Do You Know Your Self-Worth? Yes, do you actually know your self-worth? Self-worth is the sense of one's own value or worth as a person. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is something we feel inside, but is influenced by a lot of things and a lot of factors, a lot of people. It is an ongoing thing that is built over time, right? I simply say self-worth or self-esteem is an opinion of yourself. Some say to focus on yourself, that's a bit selfish, but I say to focus on the mediocre life that you hate. Now that's selfish, because that's what would be replicated for many generations to come. Listen, whether you like it or not, right? You need to realize that there's somebody out there that looks up to you. Whether it's a sibling, a friend, a cousin, a relative, or somebody you don't even know, you owe it to yourself to live out the best potential life so that the next generation can replicate greatness. Picture this, right? Most of the things that we are now accustomed to were created by somebody. Social media, mode of transportation, mode of communication. Somebody chose to pave the way for the next generation to come. Why can't that be you? Why can't you see yourself as that person? I'm not saying we should go out and put pressure on ourselves and break your back today or tomorrow trying to create something new. But what I am saying is see yourself beyond that which your eyes can see. You are worthy to do far much beyond your imagination. So live a little, experience life. You owe it to yourself to see how far you can go in life. I think one of the biggest mistakes, right, that most of us make is tying our self-worth to our accomplishments in life. Accomplishments in life. Tying your achievements, tying your self-worth to your past experiences. I think I touched briefly on this in the last episode. I said the only person, right, who gets to decide your self-worth is you. It doesn't come from your bank account or the number of friends that you have. It doesn't come from what someone else says you are worth. It's called self-worth for a reason. Never measure your self-worth by what other people think you should have become. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. Ooh, What you think becomes what you say, and what you say becomes what you see. There it goes again, the power of the mind. See, the inner conversations you have with yourself, right, determines how you see yourself. So don't take externalized factors such as what people say about you, internalize those words to make them your voice, whether good or bad. Yeah, because this is how you start building your sense of worth around people without you even realizing it. A compliment is a nice thing, right? Yeah, let's not lie. A compliment is a nice thing. It feels good when someone compliments you and you're like, oh, why? Thank you. But the problem is when you now depend on that, when you now go out of your way to fish for compliments to make yourself feel good. Or even worse, when you no longer receive compliments and that then affects how you see yourself. Are you getting where I'm going with this? So many people attach their value to how other people see them. But you need to just create your own dialogue of yourself, your own conversations about yourself, your own dictionary about yourself. Use your own voice to talk about you. I read a quote that said, I'm not even sure if it was a quote, but I read somewhere and it said that if the words you spoke about yourself appeared on your skin, would you still be beautiful? Now, I was like, ooh. So I had to take a second and check myself. I was like, girl. But I was like, you know what? Now, yes, I would be stunning. Like, I would just be like, damn. But if you asked me the same question 4 or 5 years ago, I don't think I will have the same answer, right? So I was so interested in knowing what everybody else thought. So I conducted a little poll this morning. I'm pretty sure some of you would have actually seen it and some people responded. So I posed a poll on my WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook, and I asked the same question, that if the words you spoke about yourself appeared on your skin, would you still be beautiful? Now, you would like to know that I have got the results here with me. Drum roll, please. Now, 71% of people said yes, they would still be beautiful. And 29% of people said no. Now, 71, that's quite a high percentage. And I was commending every single person that said yes. And I was like, wow, so you speak life into you. You speak highly of yourself. You're on that positive affirmations, And they said yes. And I was like, wow, that is really great, because we really need to start creating our own dialogue. And every single other person that said no, I haven't yet gotten around to having conversations with those people. I mean, if they're open to it, I'll be great just to know the reason why. And then maybe we can conversate more on that. But I just thought that question was very, very deep. Why? Because a lot of us are being very unkind to ourselves behind closed doors, but yet we come outside or we come out on social media and we pretend like all is well. We try to fit into society's version of happiness, into society's version of who we should be. We live in a lie to appease other people, but neglect the one person that matters the most, and that's you. A lot of people say to me that I personally, like me, Revimbo, appear to be a very confident person. And I agree with them. I'm like, yes, I can see why you see that in me. Why? Because that's how I see myself and that's what I serve. How you see yourself is how people see you. Remember, we spoke about this on episode 2, managing expectations. We said treat yourself as though you matter and other people will follow suit. We can't talk about self-worth without talking about self-respect. Yeah, let's just add that little bit in there. Please note, you can't force someone to respect you, but you can refuse to be disrespected. But then again, this all comes back to your worth scale. Like, where does your gauge of respect and disrespect lie? What do you accept? What don't you accept? What do you allow? What do you disallow? So I'll ask you, what version of you are you serving yourself and those around you with? Don't give us fake you, because we all know fake things don't last. Listen, you have your whole life to figure you out, to work on yourself, to be happy with you. The blueprint of your life lies within you. It's like when building a house or a building, there's a blueprint to that house you follow, right? You don't borrow your neighbor's blueprint to build your own house, because it's not the same house. Stop looking for external factors to create a version of you. Do you know that no matter what you do, right, there are people out there who will never, I say never, acknowledge how great or how amazing you are. People be out here hating like that. You already know this. Your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. So do not go out of your way to try and convince someone to see your worth. If you find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth to someone, you have already forgotten your value. Don't waste your words on people who deserve your silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing that you can say is nothing at all. Instead, invest that energy in working on your self-worth. Remember, self-worth is a verb. Always constantly work on you. If you feel you suffer from a sense of like you don't have a sense of self-worth, the first thing you need to do is you need to identify why. Then once you've identified why, the second thing is to act on it. Self-worth is a verb. Exercise your worth and it becomes second nature. I get so emotional, right, when I speak about self-worth, because it can be so damaging when you lose that sense of worth. And that is me speaking from experience, but I'm gonna skip that little story onto the next episode. So I'm actually gonna share my experience of when I went through a phase in my life where I lost myself quite a bit. But I tell you this, that the moment that I remembered who I was, the game changed forever. Now, here's 3 things that we can avoid. Number 1, I've said this earlier, avoid attaching your self-worth to your achievements. Try making a list of all the things that you love about yourself that have nothing to do with achievement. I learned the hard way that when we connect our worth with anything outside of ourselves, we're setting ourselves up for failure. Yes, it's a common trap for many of us to find ourselves in, but that's a very dangerous one. I've eventually come to realize that my worthiness is an entity separate from my appearance, separate from relationship status, success, and yours is too. I believe that a deep sense of self-worth is the foundation each person needs to fully thrive in his or her work, her relationships, and other life endeavors. Despite what the society likes to tell us, weight loss, engagement rings, becoming the CEO of your company aren't what makes us worthy. Such things just don't have that power in the long term. It is because you are worthy that you're able to accomplish and enjoy such wonderful things. Do you get it? Number 2, don't compare yourself to other people. The reason why we struggle with insecurity is because we compare our behind the scenes with everybody else's highlight reel. It doesn't work. In my language, we say "Aji budi." It does not work. But admit it. Let's be real. You get a little jealous. You just do. Even though you know better. People are getting contracts. Oh man, these people are getting sponsors. Why is this? Everybody else is getting investments. This person's got more followers and they're getting endorsements. You have noticed. But listen, don't let that take away from how you see yourself. And don't allow that to make you a bitter person. Your journey is different and our destinations are most definitely not the same. Be proud of your journey and your progress. If you find yourself comparing a lot of the time, then how about you adopt that helicopter perspective that we spoke about in the last episode and look at the bigger picture. Acknowledge your progress. Be proud of you. Listen, another thing that I'm going to say to you is don't downplay the great things that you do. Number 3, change your Number 3, change your vocabulary. What you say about yourself matters. And I will keep repeating over and over and over again. What you say about yourself matters. The words you use, change that. Speak positive vibes into every situation and what the energy transcends. Remember what I asked you earlier? If the words you spoke about yourself appeared on your skin, would you still be beautiful? If your answer was no, it's time to change your vocabulary. So yeah, self-worth is like any new skill that you acquire. The more that you practice it, the more you can do it without even thinking. So join us again next week on another episode of Oh My Mark. Listen, be sure to tune in next week because I've got a little story to share, a little personal story to share. But once again, thank you for everybody that participated in today's poll. It was very great to see what everybody felt, and it's amazing to know that there's a lot of us who are speaking words of life, who are speaking positivity into our lives. A lot of us that are doing that. That is just very, very nice to see. So yeah, until next week, have a blessed week.
Join us again next week as we continue to transform and win. Be sure to subscribe on our website onmymark.co for weekly exclusives and giveaways. Until next time, on my mark, get set, let's go.